Presenting Talkative.
See, all you gotta do to make creepy music is just play chords wrong.
Presenting Talkative's adversarial fare.
Fellowshipping with brothers and sisters in Christ while discussing the world of the arts.
1985.
I was actually thinking about this, and it's nice that we have this going on, so we could just cut to this. Is that, you know, we identify the 80s with that 80s vibe, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And then we, 90s, which is all the grunge and like rebellion and that kind of stuff.
Rap that didn't suck.
It's fair, actually. I've been thinking about that. That's another topic. And then I'm thinking, I guarantee you what everyone's going to see 2020 as is the culture war. That's what everyone's going to remember 2020 is for.
Yeah. That would make sense.
Hopefully we win that war.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Anyway, I'm Scott Sowers, the most handsome of the bunch.
I'm Jack Bolin. I am the slave of the editorial. I am not handsome at all.
I'm Kevin, and my profile picture speaks for itself.
Do you not have a last name? Is it just Kevin?
Spence.
Okay, so this is the podcast episode. We had a different idea of what we were gonna do this night, but our dear friend got into a car crash. He's fine.
Yeah.
He got into a car crash, and so
He was going to be the one to bring all the fiery opinions, so
exactly.
we can't
So
go on without him.
So instead, we got the weird editor who's been locked in the basement.
yeah, so we've been we just finished recording 2 episodes or 2 videos. It is currently 12 a.m.
December 9th.
I'm doing fine. I'm sorry.
Me too.
I'm sorry if I'm gonna say slurring my words or I'm gonna say different words. I've been doing that several
We're
times
using slurred words.
accidentally. I'm just gonna turn British.
I love
You filthy cur, you. We just found out that cur is not a slur.
It means it was a breed of dog, actually, that was not successful. Obviously.
obviously.
Okay. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Yeah, we're just gonna talk about latest videos. Like I said, we just recorded 2. We did my video, which is going to be based around the Grinch, and then it's just going to be talking about what Christians think of or what Christians think of Christmas and stuff like that. And then Jack, what do you do?
I am reviewing Subnautica. It is a game where you are on an alien planet, and the planet is filled to the brim with water. There's very creepy leviathans that chase you, grab your subs, and try to kill you. And, yeah. I'm not good at talking.
Sounds like Uranus.
What?
The planet.
See, I hear Uranus and think anatomy.
Yeah.
Not astrology.
Just
Or,
it is late.
what is it called? Astronomical?
Astronomical.
Astronomy. There it is.
Astronomical is the what version of it?
Astronomy is the study of...
Astronomy is the study of space, but astronomical.
That's like 2 extreme amounts.
Exactly. Or, yeah, not definite. Like, what is it? That's an adverb?
Oh, astronomical.
No, that's not. That's an adjective.
Yes.
Adjective.
Because
Okay.
you can't run astronomical.
Right.
We can run astronomically, though.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start talking again. So Subnautica, I'm reviewing Subnautica. I I believe it is the best survival game out there. It's very unique in its gameplay and its map, and
Spoken like someone who's never played Minesweeper.
I haven't actually. Okay, so I'll play
Is that the one with the
Minesweeper.
bombs?
Well, it's the grid.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I love it to death. I've played it 4 times now. Still doesn't top Resi 4, but
How many hours you got in it?
Subnautica? So I just got it for Steam, so I have 1 playthrough of that, so I have 26 hours? The last 3 times I had it on PlayStation, so it's like a 12. It's a 20-hour experience, so I want to say almost 100 hours? 120, something?
Damn.
Yeah?
You know what I found out recently?
Yeah.
Portal 2.
Yeah.
So, for all those that don't know, Portal 2 is my favorite game. And it's like a 6 to 10 hour game. At this point, I can probably get through it really, really fast.
Yeah.
I have 120 hours in that game.
Oh my!
I have...
You got numbers to back up your favorite, don't you?
Dude,
Yeah.
that's nothing. I have like almost 300 hours in Resident Evil 4.
Okay, but how quick is Resident Evil 4?
I can beat it in 2.5 hours.
Okay, I guess
It's a 12-hour game. So.
You guys are flaunting a lot of stats that I don't know if you should be flaunting.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Kevin, I told you to come up with a topic for what we've been consuming.
Yeah, so I spent probably about a month absolutely steeped in Hunger Games media. It started with this dude who hosts a movie night that I go to saying we're going to watch the Hunger Games. And I have this policy, not exactly a hard and fast one, but a policy against watching a movie based on a book that I haven't read. So that gave me like a week to read. Well, no, it gave me a week to read the first one, and then about 2 weeks, about a week and a half to finish the trilogy. And so I did a lot of sitting on the toilet long after I was done, and sitting at the table long after my plate was empty. And that's partially because I wanted to finish, and partially because they're fairly engrossing. So,
Right.
so I did manage to read all the books before I saw the movies. And then another friend, unrelated to this other group of movie watchers, was like, we need to go see Songbirds and Snakes. And I said, I agree. Buy tickets. And that was weeks ago. And then I realized I haven't read the book for that either. So, and that one's gigantic. It's probably like 800 pages.
Yikes.
And I had, I needed to read the trilogy first before I could read that, of course. And so then that left me with, I think I read that book in 4 days. And that was only because 3 of those days I felt like garbage and couldn't go to work. So I sat at home and read like 5-6 hours a day of this book.
Wow.
So,
Wish I could do that.
well, if it means being
Those are impressive numbers.
that
Seriously.
that means being that sick though. It was, yeah. So
like,
I still had some sick time, so I was able to
Right.
keep the lights on, which is nice. But, yeah, so that is the story of how I consumed all of this stuff. But what I actually think of it is they're very worthwhile. I was annoyed by the appearance of every love triangle, of course, but
Love triangles are weird.
well, they can be, but mostly it felt the story isn't about that. It's about dystopia and overarching governments and families being torn apart.
Right.
So,
but still a YA novel, so.
well, exactly.
Yeah.
It felt like it was only there to make it a YA novel when it could have been fine.
Right.
without. But Yeah, the graphic and realistic ways that I guess tyranny is portrayed is very refreshing and sobering, and it's well coupled with making you feel like, oh, these are real people and I hope they don't get hurt or die.
Yeah. Is it, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a different franchise, but isn't that the one with the Josh Hutcherson?
I don't know.
Shut up, no.
Is it?
Is Hunger Games, or is it Game of Thrones?
It's Josh Hutcherson.
Hutcherson.
It's the one where kids kill each other
Gotcha.
for food.
Gotcha. I only know that because of all the freaking memes.
Have you not watched The Hunger Games?
I haven't watched the Hunger Games. I only. Why are you doing this?
The mic picks up from the front. There you go. What is he doing?
I know what he's doing. It's the freaking meme.
Anyway,
It's late.
Kevin, Hunger Games, bro. It's good.
It is. What can do? I'm sure this has been asked on every podcast in the country, but what can do we think that that is a feasible future for the United States?
I don't know anything about this, so this is
United
between you and him.
States. Well, here a small summary, which I'm not very good at, but small summary is that basically there's these there's country is split into 13 districts, and this is from my memory.
Right.
So correct me if I'm wrong. And I only watch the movies. So there are 13 districts, and that makes up the whole country.
Gotcha.
One of them started rebelling against the country, and they blew that to smithereens, and they started the Hunger Games, and that was to teach everyone, don't screw with us. Don't screw with us.
Gotcha.
And the people who do the blowing up and the creation of the Hunger Games is the Capitol, and it's the home of the tyrannical political leaders.
Gotcha.
So, but the Hunger Games is where every district has to send 2 youths to fight to the death
Right.
at the Capitol.
Okay. And that's where Katniss and PETA?
PETA, yeah.
Right.
And so just think of it as like Colorado. One guy from Colorado, one girl from Colorado has to fight kids from Nevada,
Gotcha.
New York.
We would lose, bro.
Not if it was me, bro. I volunteered. It's tribute, bro.
Bye, Scott.
I wish I would be able to eat next year.
But is it feasible? I mean, at this point, what is it? I'm not. There's no way I can say no to that question.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's fiction. But as I think I got this from Al Mohler. He was talking about how science fiction, the reason science fiction started was it was all about testing where science will go and how far science will go, and are they always going to be thinking about what's at the end of the tunnel, right?
Right.
And we're now in a place with like AI where everyone's like, oh my gosh, science fiction is or reality is catching up with science fiction.
Yep.
And it's like it's to a point now where science fiction has to come up with new things because we're already catching up with it.
Right.
So is it feasible? Yes. I mean, it's already kind of happened. I mean, can we say communist Russia was too far off?
No.
No.
I mean, the abhorrent undervaluing of life and children in particular is blatantly evident in the United States.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So, is the sentiment is there, and in honestly far greater numbers than the Hunger Games could ever accomplish. They kill 23 kids each year, and we kill millions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's not get on our high horse about how we're not Pan Am, because we're worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Like, yeah, science fiction catches up, and it catches up in ways we'd never imagined.
Yeah.
I always love when Babylon Bee comments on articles and it's like, guys, this wasn't us. This is real.
If you listen to their podcast, I don't know if they still do because they fired Ethan Nicole. And now it sucks. But they had a segment where they'd go over headlines of theirs that literally came true. Because they did. They made headlines in 2017 and then in 2021, they're actual headlines. Which, yeah, pretty scary.
Yikes.
The 20s are weird, man.
Yeah.
At this point, 2020 has taught me never say no to that question.
Yeah.
Do you think this crazy, horrible thing could happen in our lifetime?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It probably has. I don't know, Jack. Does this movie series seem more enticing to you?
It does, actually.
It's good. I like the movies at least, and I'd probably read the books eventually.
The original trilogy is the movies are some of the most faithful to the books from any movie I've ever seen.
That's what I've
It's
heard.
almost just
Yeah.
page for page, so that's cool.
Okay, but PETA or the Hemsworth guy, I forgot his name.
Aragorn.
Screw you, man. Lord of the Ring nerds.
I don't care, bro.
You team PETA or team Hemsworth? Only one blew up a sister.
Spoilers.
It's fine. Sarah knows the ending anyway. Yeah, the love triangle can be extremely distracting.
Yeah, it felt forced.
Like when we were watching the second Hunger Games, I'm just randomly PETA kisses Katniss, and then suddenly they're in a relationship finally, and I'm like, you guys were just like dying to mist.
Excuse me, I am very confused.
Exactly. So
Hormones are powerful things, bro.
I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah.
It was really funny though. There's this part. So yeah, spoilers, but PETA and Katniss have to fake a relationship to stay alive.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, and then there's one point where they have to get really, really drastic, and so PETA randomly goes, and it sucks that we're doing the Hunger Games again because Katniss is pregnant.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw it on
Everything
YouTube.
goes crazy.
And suddenly the Capitol has a soul.
Right.
That part was funny. Anyway, is that all your thoughts on Hunger Games?
I'll talk about songbirds and snakes for a second.
Okay.
It's fairly faithful to the book, not nearly as much as the original ones, but it's supposed to give a backstory for. It's a prequel, so it gives a backstory for the president who's running things during the Hunger Games, and of course he's monstrously evil, and I don't feel like offering as many spoilers as Scott just did, so I can't talk about it that much, but it's very unexpected how it unfolds, but it does give a very interesting history and describes pretty graphically how the Hunger Games evolved, because that book takes place like decades before Katniss is born, and so the Hunger Games look completely different, and they're almost more horrible than they were later, but
Wow.
anyway, yeah, still definitely worth a read. and you don't have to rush through it in 4 days. You'll probably absorb it a little better if you don't do that.
Here's my question. So Micah, he says that's the best one out of the whole series. Do you?
Songbirds and Snakes?
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
I don't at all. But I also have found very few sympathizers with what my favorite books are from the first three. So, because I think I liked the last one the best, and most people say that's the worst one. So, whatever. But I'm not like if someone told me that the Fellowship of the Ring is better than the Return of the King, I'd throw hands. But when it comes to Hunger Games, like whatever.
Yeah.
Just young adult novels.
Yeah.
I at least with the movies, I like the third one a lot. Or I mean, technically there are 2 movies, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that one a lot because it's just it seems far more pathetic.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
a revolution, but it's just TV commercials they're basically doing. Sorry again, spoilers, but
Yeah.
it's a very pathetic revolution. But at the same time, isn't that like what we do?
That's what real revolutions are like that.
Yeah,
And rarely do they succeed. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. She texted me right after watching it, and of course she's just enamored with the guy. I'm like,
gross. Get a life, bro.
and this is the same girl who likes Draco and
Edward
who's
Edward.
Edward?
from Twilight.
Oh, does she? Probably. But I'm just like, like girls are just concerningly way too attracted to psychos.
Yeah.
Are you trying to justify your singleness again?
I'm not. Shut up.
I'm single and I'm proud.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
I'm ugly
So was
and I'm
Paul the
proud.
Apostle.
Ugly and proud?
Oh, you think-
Maybe, but
He could be.
Well, we'll know when we get up to heaven.
I guess so.
he'll have a new body, so we might not.
Oh, that's true.
We can ask him.
But-
He has no choice but to be honest. So
So, Paul, on a scale of 1 to 10, how handsome were you on Earth?
He wouldn't even answer. He'd be like, "Bro, I got stuff to do."
fair enough. So yeah, Hunger Games. Invincible. Any of you guys check the new season out?
I want to so bad.
And you keep saying that. You've been saying that for months.
I don't have Amazon, dude. What do you want from me?
I do have it, and I have not been saying I'll watch it. Hence why I have not.
It's pretty good. I like Invincible.
How many seasons are there?
2 right now. The second one's gonna finish
1.5.
up. 1.5.
Because what they're doing, and I'm pretty sure they did this for the first season as well, but they're taking up a break within the holiday season.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it's 8 episodes the first season, so they released 4. Next 4. And Spider-Man's going to be in it. I guarantee you he's going to be in it.
Right.
Who's your informant?
Okay, so, I mean, Twitter. But basically, so, Josh Keaton was seen in the credits for the trailers. And Josh Keaton is
One of the best Spider-Man.
the most popular Spider-Man. One of the most popular Spider-Man voice actors. And he's in the cast. He has not shown up yet. And the comics they're adapting, at this point, there is a part where Invincible meets up with Spider-Man.
Right.
So everyone thinks Spider-Man's going to be in it.
That would be really cool.
I like Spider-Man. We know. Okay. Now, I want to get to what we recommend. And so I have. Sorry.
Death.
I recommend.
Suffering.
I recommend Trials and Tribulations.
This. So I've been dying to show this to Kevin. Jack's here,
What's up?
and I am going to show it to him.
Yay.
but I've been dying to show it to Kevin.
He's been absolutely asphyxiated to show me this.
Okay, so Kevin, can you do me a favor? Can you go on Spotify right now?
Certainly.
Not sponsored.
And type in "anyone can find love except you." There it is. There it is.
All right, let's see if this creates a horrible feedback loop or if we can all listen to it at once.
It's probably gonna.
Dude. Scott partied too hard. He lost his glasses.
Too bad the audience can't see.
No. Do it again. I'll capture it on phone.
Kevin hates it so much.
Sounds like my brain. So hopefully that didn't break the podcast.
So let me give some information. So that song got really popular on Instagram. And so I discovered a genre called Breakcore. And I've been obsessed with it. Because, I mean, for the songs I found that I liked, it was all mostly like that. But most of the songs I found were not like that at all. And it made me really disappointed. Because what I like is, I like that super pretty, like, piano music or whatever else is on there. Just super pretty, and then just some maniac in the back. I mean, that's programs, but...
Presumably.
But yeah, it's just essentially just some giant maniac in the background just going at it. And it fills me with such a weird emotion. I can't describe it. But it's dance music. It's supposed to get me, like, pumped. But I get, like, super chill and, like, in some sort of dream state when I listen. So.
Sounds like my brain.
Yeah.
If my brain had any music or sound, that would be it.
I've been purposely blocking Kevin's answer so far.
All right, Kevin.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to say. If that wasn't just a program, I'd just be like, what is with this wasted potential of a drummer? But
He needs J.K. Simmons to teach him.
it feels like two things that don't belong together getting put together.
Exactly.
Not in the good way. In the
Well, for me, it's the good way.
okay. Yeah.
It's and it gets like I wish you guys could have seen Kevin's face when it got like really offbeat. Kevin was dying.
Yeah. I mean, the piano part wasn't even that interesting, so
Yeah, it's the combination of the two, definitely.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the production decision to make it crackly and distort a little bit.
Well, hopefully
me
that doesn't
second-guessing.
screw up the podcast.
It probably won't.
Kevin's got it.
Yeah.
If you recall episode 2 where I fixed all the problems perfectly.
Kevin got it. You know what I've been noticing too when I listen to music is when people take breaths, sometimes it's super, like they put reverb to it sometimes, or
Yep.
I've been noticing that more where they put effects to just the
Well, and sometimes that's just because there's an effect on the whole vocal track, and so it gets applied to the breath and the vocal. And they decide not to take it off of the breath.
Right.
Does that make sense?
yeah, it's that's another thing that's just like that's weirdly pretty.
No, it is. Like when I hear vocal recordings where they cut out the breaths, it annoys me.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it's like pretty, and it's like real. It's like honest.
Yep. Occasionally you hear like the wet sound of like lips farting.
What?
Or the throat letting air break like those bubble walls of saliva.
Oh,
And this is where we get into Kevin topics, guys.
That there's no way that you haven't heard this.
I probably have. I just haven't noticed it yet.
Okay. Well, if you think too hard about it, it gets very distracting. But
I do that at work, like when I'm listening to music, and I'm just picking out pieces. I'm like, can I do that? Anyway, what do you recommend, Jack?
I recommend, because I just finished it.
Resident Evil 4.
No, actually, I recommend Attack on Titan. Yeah, that's right. I'm the biggest nerd in here.
not to mention weeb.
Not even that.
Honestly, though, Attack on Titan is pretty bare bones. Most people enjoy Attack on Titan.
Yeah. I mean, I like it because the main character... I just love when... Spoilers, I love when main characters go from protagonist to antagonist.
I hope I can make it through this without
if done
something.
if done well.
We're just doing the Sarah experience here.
Do you not have time to watch movies? We got you covered.
Sorry.
Good one.
I just finished it not last month, but a couple weeks ago. It was really, really good. To a lot of people's dismay, they covered the material very, very faithfully. Like no like filler or anything, just straight up, just copy and paste. The jokes are finally over of the part 2 or the part 3, part 1 special one are finally over, but from my understanding, I guess the animators are like very, very overworked. So yeah. But yeah, the final chapter looked amazing, like very, very stunning and stuff. Because I guess the studio, what was it? I think it was MAPPA, I think is what they're called. They use a little bit of CGI in their animation, but they make it to where it's not like really, really noticeable. So it looks really good. The music too. I was gushing to you two about it before we got on. Just like,
Yeah.
I love the soundtrack of it. They have this big orchestra in there, and the 3 songs I really, really love are The Other Side of the Sea, Ashes on the Fire, PTV, and Traitor. It's just very good. But the story is really solid too.
You want to just completely spoil it for Kevin here?
Yes, so the whole...
I definitely will not be watching this, so
Yeah,
feel free.
it's very... It's still got like the anime tribe, yelling and stuff, but here it kind of makes sense because, they're in a war zone and everybody's dying and being eaten by giant humans. But the whole story revolves around this boy, Aaron Yeager, who...
Aaron Yeager.
His home gets attacked by titans. He sees his mom get eaten, and he just vows vengeance against the titans.
Naturally.
Yeah. Oops, there goes Scott.
I said I was going to take a nap.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, everyone goes into the kitchen for a nap.
But so he goes on. He eventually finds out that he himself is a titan. Yeah, so he uses that against the titans, and then blah
Don't
blah
you
blah.
have to be giant to be a titan?
He does this weird, like, he bites his hand and then blood comes out and then poof, you're a Titan. It's very weird.
Yo, Kevin, you want me to move the drinks to the fridge so it doesn't explode?
Yes, please.
Yay!
But it's hard to explain it because I'm not good at explaining things. But it's a very, very solid story. I enjoy it very much. And the conclusion, a lot of people complain about the ending. But in my opinion, they fixed it a little bit because in the ending, they kind of butcher Aaron's character a little bit. Because in the final season, he betrays humanity pretty much and just goes on and kills them all. He wipes out 80% of humanity.
Goodness gracious.
So
End time.
Top that, Thanos.
he wiped out 50%.
Did I just steal your joke, Kevin?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, Thanos
Definitely not.
Thanos wiped out 50% of all like living matter in the universe. Aaron only did 80% of humanity.
He said,
I'm just gonna leave now. Bye, guys.
do we need to take a break for you, Scotty?
Bro, Scott's dying over here.
Bro, chill.
Scott, breathe, my boy.
I know I have a good sense of humor and everything, but
Everyone finally understands how atrocious my laugh is.
Dude, he freaking peaked.
goofball, bro.
Anyway, so they kind of in the manga they kind of butcher his character, make him all whiny, but I don't think people understand he's always been whiny throughout the entire series. He just chose to hide it so he could be this angsty teenager. But
Sounds like a compelling
yeah,
protagonist.
yeah.
Mate, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, but find it hard to explain it. But in my opinion, they fixed it in the anime adaptation. They tweaked his reaction a little bit to be a bit more understandable. But overall, I still think he's a really good character. Because he starts off like really whiny and bratty, but as the series goes on, especially in like season 3, he is, I want to say, the best he can be. Because right now, this is like before he figured out, he's destined to wipe out 80% of humanity. So that like screws with his brain. But in season 3, he's a really good character. Like his character development, like I want to say peaks at season 3, and then season 4 kind of goes downhill. But I'm like losing track of my thought. I like the show. The art style is good. The music is good. The voice actors are good. Dub and sub, screw you, weebs. I hate their arguments so much.
Spoken like a true weeb.
I don't care anymore.
Kevin, what's your favorite anime?
Probably My Hero Academia.
No, bro. Probably
I don't even know what that is. I just know the jokes.
Probably Pokemon, dog.
Yeah.
I've never seen Pokemon.
Still.
Have you played any of the games?
No.
Have you touched one of the trading cards?
Yes, there was very recently actually one of my piano students who is, I think 7. He just pulled one out of his pocket and he was like, "I got Charizard."
Shiny one?
What?
Shiny?
I don't remember.
Because if it's shiny, he should not be carrying that in his pocket.
No, he will get that thing stolen from him immediately.
No, it's not even stolen. He's gonna put it in his pocket and it's gonna get all crumpled. Shiny Charizard is one of the most prized Pokemon cards ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Google it.
Dude, if y'all want to talk about Pokemon, just get my uncle on.
We can save this for another day. I just want to show Kevin shiny Charizard.
Oh, right. It's that one. Energy burn ability. Nice. 150 health points. Nice.
Is that it?
Fire spin. Bro, this guy's goated. Discard 3 energy attached to this Pokemon.
I love
All
how
energy attached to this Pokemon are fire symbol energy instead of their usual type. OP is freak, bro.
I love how I say I'm gonna try and not make a fool of myself on this podcast. Yet I've done it like what 2 times now.
Yes.
We're just talking about shiny Charizard.
Oh no, I'm talking about more than that.
Be serious and respectable like me.
I can be respectable. I can be respectable, but I can't be mature.
How does that work?
I don't know actually.
Nice.
I mean, I can be mature when it I can be mature when it counts. If I'm just like my normal goofy self, yeah, no, I'm a total train wreck. Wakes up at like 7 a.m.
How early? How horrendously early?
Or not 7 a.m, 7 at night. No, I wake up at 5.
Wake up at 4. Let's go. Better than all of you.
Your mom wakes up at 3.
She does wake up at 3. I'm proud of her. Okay.
Anyway,
So this is most likely the last podcast episode of the year, and
or ever.
and I just kind of wanted all of us to do kind of a recap of the year. That's really just what I wanted to do. Just talk about the editorial. What do you think of it so far? The things you've seen the editorial do, which probably isn't much, but there are the small things that make it worth it. And then just, I don't know, just your general thoughts. So let's start with Jack, since has the most seniority besides me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really, like, for a year in, I'm really happy how the editorial has been doing. Seeing it grow, and then your showmanship, like, start to evolve. It's really bizarre, because I went back and watched
You should see him, bro, with his mustachios and cape. Real showmanship.
You got this mustachio on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see...
it's more defined than I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Which is that just means that now I can see it.
Yeah, he's super mad that I'm able to grow more facial hair than him.
Yeah, you can.
Anyway, editorial.
That is sad. I'm sorry.
Dude's freaking crying right now. Anyway, the editorial. Because I went back and watched Whiplash. And it was, like, really bizarre. Because you're all just, like, not mumbling, but you're just, like, very, like, dead-eye staring the camera. Just, like... It's like, you will listen to me. But no, it's, like... It's really cool to see all the other people getting introduced and stuff.
Yeah.
My first video was still terrible. You could tell that I was nervous, and then I think I was sick that day.
Are you talking about the first time you edited or the first time you did a video?
My first video, but dude, when the first time I edited, I remember I got so freaked out because the hard drive was acting up. You had to come get it. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, dude, he's gonna hate me. Oh my gosh, he's gonna hate me.
I'm about to be fired.
I'm about to get fired on my first day. I think I started editing for you.
It was the second video.
Right, it was the second video, but
Because I did Whiplash, and I'm like, I can't do this by myself. This is too much.
it's like, and then that one Thursday night, just like, hey, Jack. But yeah, but no, it's been really fun. Like, I don't know if it's like a bias I have of it because I edit the videos, but there is
It
something,
definitely is.
maybe, but there is something about the editorials videos that just make them fun to watch. Like there is something, especially like the like little banters you and Kevin have, just adds
Those
more
are not
characters.
little banters. Those are expressions of deep-seated resentment.
It's hard to put into words, but there is just something about watching the editorial videos that just make them fun. Like they're really enjoyable, and I hope people see that. Like, so
Cool. Kevin, you got introduced like around half of the year,
yeah,
the half mark, I think.
This summer?
I think so.
Goodness gracious.
yeah, because the first thing you technically did was Andrew's third episode, right?
I think so.
Let me check.
That feels like far too short a time. But
What do you mean by that? By that?
like it seems like I've edited way more than 6 months worth of content.
That's what I was just telling Jack.
Yeah.
Like, Jack was like, I can't believe it's been a year already. I'm like, I feel like I've been doing this for like 3 years.
Yeah. And not a penny to show for it. Let's see. I have a lot of technical things to say because it has honed my editing skills quite a bit. Because I've done one podcast before this and a few small projects, but no, it's supposed to be like a weekly thing, but I made it more of like a bi-weekendly thing, which was still more frequent than I was doing before, so it just forced me to sit down and be like, what are my like shortcuts to make this go faster, and how do I get to bed on time but not miss artifacts? And the answer to that is you don't get to bed on time, but it does sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually been something that has moved closer and closer to the top of my resume because it's like the best example of like actual production and recording work that I've done. So hopefully someone notices it enough to be like, would you like to be paid to do this?
Eventually,
Get us on charges.
eventually, once we get enough, we'll get the Patreon going.
There we go.
Subscribe to my Patreon and I'll rip off my face.
Forgot I said that. But yeah, it's nice to hear that it's been helping you guys find your craft and do stuff for you guys. Because I mean, yeah, it's same thing for me. I mean, what Jack was just talking about, being on camera is hard.
Yeah.
And there's a certain voice you need to get, and there's a certain way you just need to approach things. And writing the script to make the schedule is crazy. But I do this, and I'm going to school at the same time, and so I get school papers. I'm like, this is child's play.
Yeah.
So
You're giving me a month to do this?
Nice. Child's play.
800 words, dude. I do like 1,000
Yeah.
at least. But so it's really, I am deeply touched that it's been helping you guys do stuff for you, and it has been more impactful than I thought it was going to be at the start. Like already, I didn't think I'd see this much, not necessarily change, but impact. Impact is just the only word I can really say or find. And I have to constantly remind myself of that sometimes, because you do kind of get to a point where, like, I mean, right now it's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, what
are we doing?
What are we doing here? But it is something I have to remind myself of, is that it is doing things, it is working. It's not working as fast as I would like, i.e. the Patreon or the money. Not saying that money's the whole issue. It's just money would help the channel grow and get better.
And it's indicative of wider reach if there's income involved.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And, just doing things, getting more involved into the Christian environment. Yeah. But just the whole reason I've started this, and this is what I was going to get into. I'm try not to hog the mic for too long. Yeah. But the whole reason I did this is because studying movies, or music, or just any art form, and understanding worldviews, or understanding that this takes work and this is beautiful, is something that everyone needs to know about.
Right.
And everyone needs to study. Because, you get the parents' guides all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, should your kids watch the new Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
You get all that all the time. Mm-hmm. But I feel like people get to the point where they're like, parents or adults think they're above that,
Yeah.
that they're completely fine. And
They don't need a guide for what they should be watching.
exactly. Or how to think through these ideas. But as I've been doing the editorial and have been studying, I realize, oh crap, there's so much that we miss, so much that we let slip by, stuff that we let affect us. And it's like, yeah, this is an everybody's situation and an everybody need, where we need to, one, understand the world's worldview in art, but also, two, still appreciate art as well. Because when you get into the parent's guide, it's just a parent's guide. Yeah. Should your kids watch this? Should your kids do this?
Right.
But they don't actually talk about how art forms are glorifying to God no matter what. It's the creation. It's part of the creation mandate.
Yeah.
And I'm a writer. Jack's a writer. Kevin's a musician. We all understand this, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
Kevin's nodding his head.
Yeah.
We just discussed earlier how the older I get, the more I realize I don't say half of what's on my mind.
So, and to see that, I've seen people understand that, and it's not a whole bunch of people. It's not people, all the time telling me, "Oh my gosh, you're making me think about this and this and this and this." But it's those little moments of like, okay, you get it. You get what I'm trying to do, and it's worth it, and it's glorifying God,
Yep.
and it's accomplishing the mission.
Yeah.
So, and I couldn't do it without you two amigos. I couldn't do it without anyone else who's contributed, and I'm so thankful for you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us be part of the team, Chief.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really fun.
Well, I think that's a nice note to end on. We should probably
Get to bed.
get to bed before we start making Josh Hutcherson memes.
Who gets the floor?
Jack.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
How is it really bad out there?
I have no idea. Are you asking me to look for you?
No. Anyway, I'm Scott Sowers,
I'm Jack Boland.
I'm Kevin Spence.
And we're unimpressed with the fools. We'll see you guys later.